What's up, everybody? I want to talk to you guys today about how do you underwrite a BRRRR deal, right? Like, these are the things that you guys have to look for. This is going to be a quick hitter. It's just things that you need to be thinking about, especially when you're approaching an opportunity. So let's jump into it. So the first thing you're going to want to know is the purchase price analysis. This will really determine exactly like how you enter the property. You need to figure out like what are the comps, right? What has sold recently in the area? Any market research, like are there any railroad tracks? Are there anything that can affect your exit, right? Do you back up, waste treatment plant or something that's going to affect like the renter or the buyer or whatever you're going to do with the property. So you want to make sure you analyze the property really well, analyze the purchase price. That's really going to help you. The next thing too is the rehabilitation cost. You want to figure out exactly like how much things are going to cost. I see a lot of people jump into properties. It's funny. I go to so many properties, and the property looks so amazing on the inside. They did a great job, great craftsmanship, and then they get to the outside, and it's like, what in the world happened here? It looks like another rundown house in the neighborhood that someone driving for dollars is going to stop by and say, hey, that looks like a good one. And like, no joke, I went to this house last week, and basically beautiful on the inside. Grass was not cut when I showed up. There was like cinder blocks along the fence. Legit, the grass was like knee high, and the backyard was just messy. Zero landscaping. Also, the windows were missing flashing on the outside, and they had just replaced the windows. So like, I couldn't understand why. But make sure you guys figure out your rehabilitation costs and include money for landscaping. Landscaping is probably the biggest thing that helps sell properties when you're thinking about curb appeal, because people want to feel welcome. They want to feel that drive. They want to feel that draw into the property. The next thing is you want to determine your rental income. Remember, for the BRRRR, you're going to rent it out. So you want to determine, hey, what properties are renting for what? And honestly, do it per like investment. So don't just select, if you have a townhouse, don't just select the single family house and then say, oh, it's going to rent for that amount. No, it's not. You have to find like investments, find like properties that rented in the area, and do your best to find the same condition, but you may not find the same condition, which means then you can raise your rent slightly. However, always hedge your bets. Always bank on the lowest number and do your math on that. And it's a very conservative way of doing things. That way, if the rental market starts going downhill, which it's not, by the way, then you guys can actually get in and actually make more money than you had thought about. So remember to do your rental income analysis, figure out the area, look for similar properties, do vacancy rate estimation, figure out how long it's going to take you guys to rent out the property. Honestly, it should take you less than 30 days. If it's priced over that, that means the price is too high. If it takes you longer, the price is too high, okay? And you also want to, figure out also the potential growth for rental in the future, right? So depending on how long you want to hold this property for, this BRRRR, I recommend like 2 to 3 years, 4 years maybe. But you want to determine like how much it's going to go up and how much your rent is going to go up. What are the factors in the area? Is it Walmart moving in? Is it Target? Is it Starbucks? These sort of things, and that can help increase your rental price. Next thing too you want to determine is your operating expenses. So determine your property taxes, your insurance, and HOA fees, and these are all things that you need to document in the process. Figure out what your maintenance and costs could be over time. Are you going to be responsible for repairing the HVAC system? Is there a home warranty on the property? These are all things that falls into the operating expenses. Also, are you going to hire a property manager? Again, like, I personally don't believe in property managers. To me, they just spend a lot of your money, and I haven't found one yet, to be honest, that will actually help save you money. So for now, I just, self-manage. The other thing, too, is financing terms. You want to figure out, like, what your loan is, right? Before you go into a property, before you approach a property or a seller, you want to determine what your loan terms are. That way you know exactly how to negotiate the deal. So figure out what your interest rate is after you do an application. Are you doing hard money? Are you doing private money? Are you doing conventional financing, DSCR? Whatever it may be, you guys have to figure that out. Figure out your down payment and closing costs. Are there any points that you're paying on the thing? Another thing too is your ARV, after repair value. So after you figured out your entry in the beginning, you want to figure out what your exit is going to be. How much can this property be worth if I did X, Y, Z to it? So this is when you're really getting into it, really getting into the BRRRR strategy and figuring out these things, because it's super important to know these things, because you want to know what your exit is going to be. I meet so many people every single day that they don't know what their exits are and they're stuck. I mean, it's probably like the most frustrating thing for me because it's so simple. So figure out what the exits are. Look at the comps and see what they're selling for in Zillow. I mean, the information is out there. It's free. I don't know why people don't do it. So go on Zillow, look at what's selling around the area. Obviously, pick similar bedrooms, similar bathrooms, and square footage as well as similar condition. Obviously, your condition might be better than some of the ones that sold, but you need to account for those things. And figure out also too your cash flow analysis. Like obviously, if you're buying a BRRRR, I expect you guys to have at least 1% rule on the cash out refinance number. For those of you that understand the BRRRR strategy, you'll know what I mean. But this is about getting 1% and creating the cash flow that you need. This is why the BRRRR strategy is so powerful, because you're able to continue to recycle the money after the cash out. You don't want to have to leave money in the property to cash flow. You want to be able to get out as much as you can, if not more, than you put into it, and still cash flow to be able to buy another property, okay? The next thing, too, is your exit strategy. What is your exit strategy? Remember I talked about earlier, are you guys going to hold this property for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? You're going to do a cash out refinance? All this falls into your exit strategy. How much are you going to rent it for? Are you going to rent it long-term, medium-term, short-term? All these things matter with your exit strategy. So I need you guys to be thinking about your exit strategy. Next thing, too, is really do your due diligence, right? So you want to make sure you pull together your inspection reports. You want to do title search and legal documentation. I feel like if you guys have been watching my YouTube channel, I don't need to tell you that. But, like always document every single thing. Make sure you get a title search to make sure that the property is transferred clean and clear in your name. You could get title insurance. It's highly recommended. See if you could get a continuation from the prior owner. It's called a continuation. You actually get a discount on your title insurance. It's a great hack, especially when you're buying a ton of properties. And if you use the same title company over and over again, then my honest thought with them is try to strike a relationship, strike a deal with them and say, hey, look, can you give me some sort of discount? Certain states is illegal to discount title insurance. So make sure you guys figure out what states you're in. Next thing, too, you want to figure out your contingency plans, right? This is the last point I'm going to make, but you have to determine what your contingency plans are, right? This is like the what if. What if it doesn't rent out short term? Can you rent it for long term and still make money, or medium term, right? And what if you ran into an issue during construction, you have to put an extra 10 grand? Are you including that contingency, that overage cost, that potential in there? So these are all things you need to be thinking about, the what ifs. And they're designed, they're there to help you. They're like sort of you creating your fail safes to make sure that you win at this game. And it's so important in life, and not just real estate investing, but in life, to set yourself up for success and set yourself up for winning and not failing. So remember that. Think about your contingencies and make sure you're going to win no matter what. Hit that subscribe button below, like, follow, comment. Let me know what things I missed, because I'm not, by means the most crazy expert on the BRRRR strategy, but I've done it maybe 1 or 2 times, or if not more, but would love to see you guys, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.